So I didn't really have a huge plan for what kind of video I wanted to do this week, so very last minute I decided I wanted to do just another Draw This Again challenge, which are really fun. Definitely would recommend doing them. They're a lot of fun. So like I said, I didn't really have a plan for what I wanted to do for this video. I didn't really have anything in mind for what I wanted to draw. I kind of wanted to do a Copic illustration again because I haven't done a whole lot of those lately, and especially it's been a while since I've done a Copic illustration actually on this channel, so I kind of knew I wanted to do a Copic illustration, but I like sat down and I was gonna draw something, sketch something out, and it was like, yeah, no, I have no idea what I want to draw. So something I really like doing when I don't have an idea of what I want to draw, or even when it comes down to having art block. Recently, something I've really liked doing is just drawing something over again. And I know if you've never done that before, it's like, well, what's the point? But it's a really good idea because you can see how far you've come as an artist, and it doesn't matter how long ago the illustration was. I kind of want to get in the habit of drawing the same thing for like New Year's every single year. I think that would be really cool. But it's just really nice to see how far you've come, what you've improved on, what like stylistically in your art has changed. So I would definitely recommend that to anyone, especially if you like feel really down about your art, if you feel like you're just not improving and you know the more you draw it's just all the same. This is a really good way to get out of that mindset, because I know kind of recently, not right now, but kind of recently, when I would look back on art from a year and a half ago, it's like I had the mindset of, well, not much has really changed, and just in the last few months alone, a lot has changed in my art. So it's definitely an eye-opener when it comes to being like, oh hey, I have improved a lot, my art has changed a lot in ways that hopefully you like. So that is why I wanted to do this today too. I just think they're fun to see kind of like what you've improved on, what's changed, and honestly, I feel like the thing that's changed the most for me is just the way I draw like faces and stuff, and especially that I don't use fine liners to outline anymore. I have mentioned before, I'm not a huge fan of highlighters, whoa. I'm not a huge fan of fine liners. I'm okay with them, I used to use them all the time, but honestly, I much prefer just using a colored pencil to outline stuff. If you've never tried it before, I would definitely recommend it over fine liners. Well, not recommend it. I recommend trying it just once. I prefer it over fine liners though. In my opinion, it just looks a lot softer and I really like the way it looks. I feel like it kind of takes it away from being super flat, because like fine liners, you don't really have much variation in terms of like color because they're fine liners. I mean, you can use like colored fine liners, but you can't really go for like lighter in some sections and darker in some sections. You can do thicker line work in sections, but when it comes to the colored pencil, I feel like you have better control of it, and I like the way it looks a lot more. So that's why I've been doing that. But with this piece in particular, I actually went ahead and I outlined it with a pink color erase pencil. I think the exact color is rose, I'm pretty sure it's rose, but I've actually never done that before. I was kind of inspired by Juicy Ink or Tori Ann here on YouTube, and she's on Instagram, because I was watching one of her Vlogmas videos and she was actually outlining stuff in a colored color pencil versus just like a black colored pencil, which is what I have previously been doing. I always sketch in colored lead, but I never actually like outline in colored lead. I use colored fine liners, but I don't think I've ever outlined in colored pencils. That sounds weird. But yeah, that's what I decided to do for this one. Initially, I was just gonna do like a base outline, I guess, in that color, and then I was gonna go over it with the black very thin pencil, which is what I normally use to outline things like this. But I actually really liked the way the rose colored pencil looked, and I only went over some spots in the black to actually like define them better so they'd show it better, like with the face and stuff. I felt like, because I used so many like pink tones in faces to begin with, the pink colored pencil did stand out, but it also kind of got lost in the face. So I went over with the black in a few spots, and I really like how it turned out. So I decided to pick the initial drawing to redraw because I like how it looked, and like I said, I wanted to use my Copic markers again, but I was very curious to see how much would change with this one because I'm using the same medium, I'm using basically the same Copic markers. I don't know the exact colors I used before, and I did change a few things because Like, especially her wings, I drew them really weird in the last illustration. I don't know what reference picture I was going off of in the last illustration, but her wings were not very correct in the last illustration. So I did do those very differently. But as a whole, I was very interested to see how different or how similar this would look, because it is the same character, it's obviously the same pose and stuff in the same medium, so it definitely has a lot of similar traits to the old illustration, but I definitely do prefer this one more. And like, if anything, it's just because of the face, and it's just because it's not done with the fine liner. But yeah, no, I am very happy with how the new one turned out. The only thing that I'm like, what happened here is like, I know I drew the head too big, which I thought I was done doing that. I was doing that for a while, and then recently I kind of fixed that problem from happening, but I don't know. Her head's too big, and her hair is also gigantic, so that definitely doesn't help. But yeah, no, I am definitely happy with how this turned out, and I'm glad I decided to redraw something because it's a lot of fun. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.